The Democrat ANS allows the National Labor Relations Board to levy outrageously inflated monetary penalties on businesses of all sizes in an attempt to force employers to acquiesce to union demands during an organizing drive. This amendment exempts the smallest of businesses from these unnecessary, harmful, and one-sided civil monetary penalties in the underlying bill, which risks bankrupting establishments unable to afford a team of lawyers to interpret complicated federal labor laws. The Democrat ANS includes an unprecedented and extreme burden that would force many small business job creators to reduce workers' hours, let employees go, or close their doors for good because of the new and onerous liabilities imposed by the legislation. These negative impacts would compound the historic hardships facing small businesses around the country because of the COVID-19 pandemic and would be felt more strongly by small businesses, the entities that are most vulnerable to regulatory overreach. Small businesses make up 99.9% of U.S. firms, and they employ almost half of the U.S. employees, accounting for 2/3 of net new jobs. And I'm going to read that again. Small businesses make up 99.9% of U.S. firms, and they employ almost half of all U.S. employees, accounting for 2/3 of net new jobs. They are the economic engine that runs the country. These positions do not just represent a paycheck, they represent opportunities for individuals of all skill levels to join in the workforce. Small businesses continue to face unprecedented challenges. Main Street cannot thrive if Congress significantly increases the cost of doing business by imposing punitive fines, which are unreasonable, costly, and complicated to contest. You know, I want you to know something, that I have been an independent business owner for over 35 years of a small business, and every committee member in this committee has many small businesses in your district. And you know what? These small businesses pay taxes, and those taxes fund the programs you are advocating for here today. If you find them into oblivion with some of these outrageous fines, you're going to get rid of the very revenue you depend on. And I'm assuming that you may not understand what I'm talking about because a lot of you are not small business owners or have never run a business, but I know a lot of you have. And has anybody even gone to a small business in their district and asked them how would raising the fees and the fines on your business affect you in the long run? Because if you did, they would be telling you this is not a good bill. You know, I even asked how in the world did they come up with the monetary fines? You go from 2,500 to 25,000. I'm like, did they have a formula? Is there a method they use to extrapolate these fines? I haven't gotten an answer. You know, it's kind of like Big Pharma when they want to price a drug, they pull it out of thin air in a lot of cases. You know, it's just whatever the market will bear. Well, this seems to me that it's what can that business bear before they can't tolerate it anymore and they go out of business. Remember, they are the taxpayers that fund the money that funds the programs that you're trying to push on all Americans. And I'll put it to you this way. A no vote on this amendment is a vote to really fine these small businesses to death. And I, for one, would consider that before saying no. And I want to be the voice for those small businesses because that's what I've done my whole life. And with all that said, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.